Hello and welcome. My name is TyrionLanstr. Alright folks, it's finally happened. The last of the Tier 5 commanders has been awoken. The long-awaited Queen herself, Daenerys Targaryen, has been awoken. At this point, just as a quick review, there are very few paid commanders that are not awoken anymore. What we have left right now is Marjorie. Simon technically is going to be next month. And then Patello. Those are it for the paid commanders that are not awoken yet. So, like I said, we'll get Simon next month with the new AC. Then my guess is that we'll probably be getting Patello. And then it looks like they're doing Marjorie last. Nothing too crazy there. There are a bunch of free-to-play commanders they still need to awaken. So hopefully we'll be getting those soon as well. But not terribly surprised that they are going with this last commander. With the release of Daenerys Targaryen, I feel like they're gonna have to move away from Commander Awakenings just because they're gonna want some other big thing for people to spend on. As you'll see in my last video, my guess is that they're gonna go with the new equipment stuff next. But let's take a look for right now at what Daenerys Targaryen gets you when she is fully awoken. So like all the others, she has those total stats. She's getting a bunch more of them once she's awoken. Unfortunately, I don't have her unlocked, so I can't show you that screen, but I can show you her 4-star awakening ability. Her 4-star states that she summons allied dragons to launch one attack with a damage coefficient of 50% against all enemies at the beginning of battle. This reduces the active army skill cooldown by 3 seconds. Each use has an 80% chance to put the target under disarmed status for 4 seconds. Under disarmed status, normal attacks will miss their target. So this is a couple things that are really interesting here. So, first of all, it sounds to me like every time... So, definitely, she gets this attack against all enemies at the beginning of battle, which does 50% of the dragon damage. It's actually a lot. I mean, your dragon damage can sometimes be very, very high. And if you synergize that with the right other things, sometimes those dragon repeat attacks can really do a lot. Now, it says that it reduces the active army skill cooldown by 3 seconds. That is a lot. That's serious. I'm pretty sure, we're talking about going from 8 seconds to 5 seconds. And those active army skills can do a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure she would sync up very, very nicely with the Layla comps that gives that female commanders, where they're going to just keep rattling them off time and time again. Now, this last thing, each use has an 80% chance to put the target under disarmed status for 4 seconds. That's pretty big, too. So if you think about it like this, her active army skill cooldown is going to reduce it down to 5 seconds. Then each time she uses it, there's an 80% chance to disarm your opponent, where their normal attacks are going to miss for 4 seconds. It sort of sounds to me like she has a very strong chance of just making it so your opponents can't attack, ever, which sounds stupidly broken. I think I'm hopeful that I'm missing that, but just to kind of check myself. So if we go to the commanders, let's go ahead and open Layla. So I think she would probably synergize well with her. If we go here, we can see that, Daenerys is kind of attributed to a lineup recommendation that has all female commanders. It includes Salma and Cersei, of course. And they're just kind of going to try to get those those active skills as quickly as possible, since basically Daenerys is going to lower that cooldown. Layla's going to synergize, meaning that you can get extra ones used. Cersei's going to do her whole thing, where when other commanders are using their active skills, there's the chance of using the wildfire stuff. You got a lot of chances of making your opponents miss their targets. Definitely lots of pretty craziness going on right there. Definitely very, very interesting. So really quickly, if we just look at the awakening thing that I was pointing out, this mama bear. So we want the cooldown. Yeah. So I'll tell you, when it goes down, holy cow. When you get it all the way. So hold on. Let's just make sure I'm right here. You cool down by 2 seconds. I think, where does it show me what the actual cooldown is? Okay, so it starts at 13. So it starts at 15 seconds, and it's down right now by 2 seconds. When you get it all the way maxed, you get it down 5 seconds down. And that would take it down to just 10 seconds. So I did misstate that before. It'll take it down to 10-second cooldown on these active abilities. And then, like I said, so then the 4 seconds, so basically 4 seconds on, and then 6 seconds off, in theory, where they could actually attack you. But still, 40% of the time then, well, I guess 80% of the time is going to dispel them, and then they're going to not be able to attack for 40% of the time, because then she's going to hit it again. And if you add in the whole Layla stuff and Cersei, may not be doing a lot of hitting of your opponents. I will say that as a quick counter to this, Jaime's ability, his whole setup where he gets to weakness attack where they cannot miss, those will definitely be a good counter to this lineup that involves Daenerys. And I will just lastly say that I kind of was expecting a little more. I was kind of expecting them to do a whole new thing, but I think this kind of makes sense. Like, in the grand scheme of things, they didn't want to make a whole new set. They already have all of their commanders out. They have some clear synergies already set up. They wanted to just add her to this female lineup, which makes a lot of sense. A lot of people already have it, and she's just going to make them that much stronger. I will say it's interesting. I don't think it makes sense to do a lineup of all 5 of the tier 5 commanders. If you think about it, no longer is using, Jon, Sandor, Dany, Peter, and Cersei a viable lineup. It just doesn't really synergize very well. They're going to kind of work against each other in a lot of the time. You're never going to get Peter Baelish's ability off early because he's not going to get any weakness attacks from anyone. Similarly, like, Daenerys and Cersei aren't going to get extra active army attacks off. So yeah, in general, I think that it's better off kind of keeping it to those lanes that they've kind of created for you. Get the female commanders, get the healer commanders with Peter, Jon Snow and Sandor. Just get those, get as many attacks off as you can. Those commanders, definitely interesting, definitely a lot of fun. Love that they've awoken Daenerys Targaryen. She was always going to be a fun one for a lot of people. If you've gotten her awoken, then good on you. Definitely a little too expensive for my taste, but best of luck to all of you in either playing with her or playing around her now that she's awoken. And until next time, my name is TyrionLanstr. I'll see you then.